Savina, session start பண்ணி. Hello, all. Am I audible? Okay, thank you for your response. So, good afternoon to all of you, and I would like to welcome all of you to this awareness session, which we will be conducting related to the UGC NET JRF Home Science. So, basically, this is the assistant professor eligibility in India, and we'll also talk about a few of the tips how you can probably score in this particular exam, the pattern of the exam. Okay, and also towards the end, we will be talking about how we can help you people in achieving your dream, that is to qualify this particular exam and to enroll yourself as assistant professor. So, can you hear me now clearly, or is my voice still breaking? Am I clearly audible now, or is it breaking still? Okay. Okay, can you hear me now? Is it clear now? Am I clearly audible now, or is it still breaking for you people?
It's still breaking now.
Okay, just a minute. Am I audible now? Is it clear? Okay, fine. Yeah. So yeah, so I will just share my screen. So kindly let me know if you can see my screen. Okay. Can you see my screen? Yes, ma'am. Okay, fine. So to begin with, I will just introduce myself. Okay, so my name is Emily Grace, and I'm actually currently working as an assistant professor in nutrition in a college at Coimbatore, Sri Ramakrishna College of Arts and Science. So we will quickly move into the session for today, the contents which we will see. Yes, Anusha, are you having some issue? You have raised your hand. Okay, fine. So we will just move with the session. So we will be talking about what is UGC NET JRF, why we have to clear that, and the opportunities after clearing this exam. We'll also see about the cutoff and the exam pattern as well as the syllabus specifically for paper 1 and paper 2 home science. We will also give you some tips for scoring in both paper 1 and paper 2 and some general exam preparation tips as well. And finally, I think, can you please check your audio because for others it's audible. So kindly check your audio in your laptop or whichever device you have joined. Yeah, thank you. So finally, we'll also be talking about nerdy grads coaching classes and materials through which we can uh, find out how you people can benefit by getting materials and classes from us. Okay. So to begin with, what is UGC NET JRF? So the NET exam, which is a national eligibility test, otherwise called as UGC NET or the NTA UGC NET, is the assessment for deciding the qualification for a post of assistant professor. And you can also additionally opt for junior research fellowship, that is the JRF, in Indian colleges and universities. Okay. So the assessment is directed by the National Testing Agency for the benefit of UGC. So till July 2018, the CBSE was actually leading the UGC NET exam. So from December 2018, NTA had actually taken over from CBSE, and now it is called as NTA UGC NET. So usually the test is done twice in a year in the months of June and December through online mode. So for now, June, the last date of application is completed. So next we can anticipate December's application soon. In the month of August onwards, we can anticipate the registration getting open. Okay, so twice it happens in a year, so June and December. So why should you qualify UGC NET or JRF? So besides being eligible for the post of assistant professor after qualifying for this examination, candidates who are actually planning to go for PhD are also exempted from entrance exams for PhD admissions, because some private universities and colleges, they actually have specific special separate PhD qualification examination. Okay, so only if you clear that exam, you will be allowed to apply for PhD in that particular college or university. So all of that is now coming under this UGC NET itself. So the latest is, if you have known, there are 3 cutoffs. It's not two. Earlier it was only 2 cutoffs, where it was only UGC NET or UGC NET and JRF. So now it is 3. Okay, so there is a PhD entrance exam cutoff as well in this particular exam. So it also gives weightage to the NET JRF qualified candidates in the admission process. So if suppose you have cleared both NET and JRF, in that case you will also get a stipend from the government if you join in any college or university for PhD. And apart from that, it's an add-on credit for you. Okay, so if you qualify for JRF, you will be provided with the research fellowship while pursuing a PhD from the central government. So this is a benefit if you qualify JRF as well. What are the opportunities after qualifying for UGC NET JRF. So after qualifying, you can enroll in a PhD. The person, so if you are actually eligible and you have cleared this exam, the cutoff, okay. So you have cleared both NET and JRF, then you are awarded a 5-year fellowship. Okay, so 3 years it is called as JRF and 2 years it is called as SRF. Okay, so for the first 2 years, the fellowship is actually for 37,000. The HRA, that is the house rent allowance per month, it depends on different institutions. Okay, so for various institutions, they have a different cutoff. So you have to check which institution you are associated with. And for the next 2 years, you will have 42,000 as the monthly fellowship with additional house rent allowance per month, depends on different institutions. So you better check with your particular concerned institution. So this is increased and earlier it was lesser than that. Okay, it was 31 for the first 3 and then for the next 2 it is 35. But from 2023 Jan onwards, they had increased this to 37 to 42. So there is another talk about increasing this further. Okay, so first initial it will be like till 44 or 45 and then later will be 52 or almost 52. So there is a talk initially going on with that. So probably in the next 1 or 2 cycles, we can anticipate them to change and increase the hike of the fellowship. Okay, so the fellowship offered by private universities and IIMs varies depending on their respective program policies. So mostly many of the deemed universities and private institutions, they have different criteria in which they award this particular fellowship. Okay, so based on their criteria, their allocation will change. You need to clarify that in whichever university or college you're going to join as a PhD scholar. So qualifying JRF offers dual benefits, that is stipend like a regular job and also a doctoral degree. So while you're learning itself, you start earning through this government fellowship. So this is a qualification which is there. So candidates who qualify for assistant professor through UGC NET can choose to pursue a career in the teaching field. So UGC NET exam makes the candidate eligible for the post of assistant professor. They can explore the best institutes across the country and can start applying for the post of assistant professor with their valid scorecard. So this is a lifetime valuability. Okay, so once you clear this exam, it is a lifetime. It's like a degree. So basically, if you finish the PG degree, how you can use that PG degree suffix to your name lifelong. Similar to that, UGC NET is also a one-time, credit which you will be qualifying and you can use it for lifetime. So candidates can expect lucrative pay in the range of 25,000 to 45,000 per month in the starting phase based on the scores, skills, and colleges. So this is the average amount in Indian colleges. Mostly you can expect as a fresher. Depending on your experience, also you can expect a hike in this amount. So basic pay is 25 to 40k per month. Opportunities in public sectors. Qualifying for UGC NET exam, it opens your door to several prestigious public sector undertakings for qualified candidates. So some of the top PSUs such as Oil and Natural Gas Corporation, National Thermal Power Corporation, Educational Consultants India Limited, and other corporations and sectors, they shortlist candidates for various positions through this exam. So if you have this qualification, because this is a central government exam, so if you qualify this, you are eligible for a lot of these positions in various reputed and prestigious sectors. So candidates who aspire to work in government organizations, they can apply for the recruitment process with their UGC NET scorecard. So these companies recruit mainly in HR, finance, and marketing. So it is very rare for home science candidates. Mostly we opt for teaching as professors. So in case there are 1 or 2 vacancies in nutrition related sectors, then they can apply for that. So you can refer to the official website for more details regarding grades and selection procedures for each of these sectors. Okay, in case you're interested, or you have also pursued a diploma or something related to this particular sector, probably you can then apply. Access to the UGC job portal. So this academic job portal is a new initiative by the UGC which helps the NET or PhD qualified candidates to get suitable job. So qualified candidates can create their own online academic profile and you can search for jobs on this portal. So universities or colleges and other search and browse the academic profile of candidates registered on this portal. Employers can also post. So based on this, you get a lot of opportunities. Okay, so wherever there are vacancies, you get some information on that, and you can easily apply. The employers also can see your profile, and in case they're okay with your candidature, they can easily select you, and you can get posted. So now let's talk about the exam eligibility. So candidates who have secured at least 55% marks without rounding off in your master's degree or equivalent exam from universities or institutions recognized by UGC are eligible for this exam. So the other backward classes, the OBC belonging to non-creamy layer or the scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, people with disability, category, these kind of category candidates who have secured at least 50% of marks without rounding off in their PG or equivalent examination are eligible. For other general category, it is 55%. And for candidates who have appeared or will be appearing at the qualifying master's degree, this is for the final exam. You have not yet appeared with the final exam. Probably you are in your third semester or you are in the fourth semester, okay, in the beginning stage, but you have not yet completed your final year exam. So even those people can apply for this exam and you can take it up. That is from your second year of PG onwards, you can try and take this exam. So candidates are advised to appear in their subject of post-graduation only. So many of you will have this kind of a question because a few of the candidates, they have probably studied a different degree in your UG, and when it comes to PG, you would have taken nutrition or any of the topics related to home science. So you will be having this doubt if you were actually eligible to apply for UGC NET home science. Yes, whichever subject you have completed your PG or you're going to complete your PG, you can surely apply and do that particular exam. Okay. So candidates whose PG subject is not covered in the list of subjects specified by the exam conducting body may appear in a related subject. So in case this is not applied for home science, okay, so basically there are a lot of categories which comes under home science: nutrition and dietetics, clinical nutrition, textiles, child development. So there are so many, the list can be elongated, okay, when it comes under home science. So in case you have a doubt, you can still mail the particular UGC concerned people and you can ask if you are eligible to apply for UGC NET home science. The PhD degree holders whose master's level examination had been completed by 19 September 1991 shall be eligible for relaxation of 5% in their marks when they appear for the NET exam. And JRF, if you are actually, there is a particular place in the application itself where you are opting for NET, only NET or NET and JRF or only PhD or whatever it is, okay. So based on that, if you are choosing for JRF, your age should not be more than 30 years. So there is an age restriction when it comes to JRF. So there is no age restriction when it comes for UGC NET. That is a qualification for assistant professor. Okay. And there are a few relaxations also in the age limit when it comes to OBC, SC, ST. So all of those categories, you will have to refer more on their eligibility in the UGC NET website itself. Now we will talk about the cutoffs for NET and JRF. So every year the cutoffs for each subject it varies. Okay, so every exam it varies. There is no fixed mark that if you attain this particular mark you are qualified. No. So because there is a pass mark. Okay, above that particular pass mark, 40% more than that, you are actually eligible. But there is a cutoff score. Okay, so it depends on the number of candidates who appear in that year and the highest score that is obtained in a particular subject. So based on that, they will set a cutoff for every exam they conduct. But based on the previous cutoffs, okay, based on the previous cutoffs for UGC NET home science itself, you can actually have an estimate. You can expect the cutoff to be in a range. Okay, so probably if you already know that previously the cutoffs were 92 or 93, so you can expect it to be anywhere between 90 to 95. So that's how you can expect, and based on that, you can have your goal fixed. So out of lakhs of students writing exams each cycle and for each subject, UGC selects only the top 0.5% in your particular subject. So in home science, if you're writing, out of so many people, only top 0.5% of the candidates will be qualified for UGC NET, JRF and PhD. Whereas the top 6% will be qualified for UGC NET and PhD. And top 15% will be qualified for PhD eligibility alone. you see, out of 200 students appearing for the exam, only 1% will qualify for UGC NET, JRF and PhD. Okay. The next 5 students will qualify only for UGC NET and PhD. Whereas the next 30 students will qualify only for PhD eligibility. Okay. So this is how out of the 200 students, only these 20 people will qualify. This is just a rough estimate. There will be lakhs of students writing the exam. Okay. So based on that, you can have your estimation set. So various castes, minority religions and disability categories can have a small relaxation according to their specific category. Based on your category, please verify again, once again, before you apply, which category you fall under, and based on that, your cutoffs as well as your relaxations will vary. So note that only if you have selected the options of both NET and JRF in your application, you will be eligible for qualifying even if you score the topmost mark. So I will just tell you one incident. In case in your application, you have ticked only UGC NET and PhD, but you have not opted for JRF. Even though you have scored the highest among all the people in home science and your cutoff is more than the JRF cutoff which is given, you will still not be qualifying for JRF because in your application you have not checked the JRF column. Okay, so be very cautious when you apply. It is best to apply for the highest. Okay, so anyway, it's not going to be different cost in application. It is only going to be an add-on benefit in case you qualify in that particular cutoff. You will be getting that privilege as well. Okay, so be very cautious when you apply in your application for the exam. So now moving on to the exam pattern. Okay, so there are 2 papers. First paper is a general paper. There is the same paper for every exam in UGC NET. Okay, for home science specifically, it is paper 2. Okay, so if you see paper 1, number of questions is 50. The marks is 100 marks. That is 2 marks for each question, and the duration is 3 hours. That is 180 minutes without any break. Okay, so for paper 2, if you see, it is 100 questions and it is for 200 marks. So totally it is for 300 marks. 2 marks for each question is 150 questions, and all questions are compulsory. One more thing is, a positive thing is, there is no negative marking. Okay, so you don't have to worry if I guess and do some choice. What if it comes as a wrong answer? There is no problem. You will be only given 0 for the particular answer. So you will not have any minus marks or negative marking in that. Now we will be talking about the syllabus for paper 1. So if you see, for unit 1, it is teaching aptitude. It has teaching nature, characteristics, objectives and basic requirements, factors affecting teaching, learners' characteristics, methods of teaching, teaching aids and evaluation systems. When it comes to unit 2, it is research aptitude, research meaning, types and characteristics, steps of research, methods of research, research ethics, paper article, conference and seminar, workshop and symposium, thesis writing, its characteristics and format. Unit 3 is on reading comprehension. A passage will be set with questions to be answered from within the passage. Unit 4 is on communication, communication nature, types, characteristics, barriers, effective classroom communication. Unit 5 is on reasoning, which includes mathematical reasoning, letter series, number series, coding, decoding, arithmetic, and step theory, and a few others as well. Unit 6 is on logical reasoning, understanding the structure of arguments, evaluating and distinguishing inductive and deductive reasoning, verbal analogies, applied analogy, word analogy, verbal classification, reasoning, logical diagrams, simple diagrammatic relationships, multi-diagrammatic relationships, Venn diagrams, and analytical reasoning. Unit 7 is on data interpretation, sources, acquisition and interpretation of data, qualitative and quantitative data, graphical representation and mapping of data. Unit 8, information and communication technology, ICT meaning, uses, advantages and disadvantages, general observations and terminologies, basics of internet and emailing. Unit 9 is on people and environment. It focuses on interaction, sources of pollution, pollutants and their impact on human life, natural hazards and mitigation, the exploitation of natural and energy resources. Unit 10 is on higher education system, governance, policy and administration, structure of institutions for higher learning and research in India, formal and distance education, technical or professional and general education, value education, quality, governance and administration. So this is the syllabus for paper 1. So now we will look at the syllabus for paper 2, which is specifically for home science. Okay, so paper whichever subject you write UGC net for whichever subject, that is the common syllabus. Okay. Paper 2 is very specific for home science. So unit 1, we will talk about food science and food service management, in which we will see food science and nutrition, properties of food, physical and chemical properties, quality evaluation of foods, objectives and subjective, effects of cooking and processing techniques on nutritional components and other physical parameters, food preservation and application, food pigments and additives, food standards, microbiological safety of food, HACCP, food packaging, perspectives of food service, menu planning, food cost analysis, new product development, nanotechnology, food service management of institutional level hospital, educational institutions, social and special institutions, research methods, fundamental issues, concept, need, relevance, scope, and ethics in research. Unit 2 is on nutrition and dietetics, food groups, balanced diet, food pyramid, macro and micronutrition, nutrients, role of nutrients in the body, nutrient deficiencies and requirements for Indians, public health nutrition, nutrition through lifespan, physiological changes, growth and development from conception to adolescence, nutritional needs and dietary guidelines for adequate nutrition through life cycle, nutrition concerns, community nutrition, sports nutrition, nutrition in emergencies and disasters, nutritional assessment methods and techniques, nutritional intervention, national nutrition policies and programs, food and nutrition security, clinical and therapeutic nutrition, diet counseling and management, research methods, research designs, principles and purpose of research. Unit 3 is specifically on textiles. Textile terminologies, like a few of them listed here, classification of them, identification of fibers and leaves, manufacturing of major natural and man-made fibers, their properties and end uses, different methods of fabric construction, textile finishes, dyeing and printing, traditional textiles of India, textile testing and quality control, textile and environment, recent developments in textiles and apparels, and finally in research methods, what are types of research, descriptive, survey, historical, qualitative, quantitative, analytical, and action research. Now talking about apparel designing, body measurements, equipment and tools used for manufacturing garments, elements and principles of design and its application to apparel, fashion, terminologies and others, pattern making, apparel manufacturing, apparel quality testing, care and maintenance of clothing, selection of clothing for different age groups, selection of fabrics for different uses, research methods, hypothesis testing, types and scope. Unit 5 is on resource management and consumer issues, management, functions of management, resources, management of natural resources, money management, human resource management, consumer and their protection, entrepreneurship, and research methods in that we'll see sampling techniques, types of sampling, sampling procedures, probability and non-probability sampling. Unit number 6 is on housing and interior decoration or design. So design fundamentals, color, space planning and design, building regulations, housing and environment, energy as a resource, product design, ergonomics, furniture and furnishing, and research methods in that we will see selection and preparation of tools for data collection, questionnaire, interview, observation, measuring scales, ranking and measurement, reliability and validity of tools. Unit 7 is on child or human development, principles of growth and development, care during pregnancy and prenatal and neonatal development, theories of human development and behavior, early childhood care and education, influence of family, peers, school, community and cultural and personality development, children and people with special needs, children at risk, adolescence and youth, adulthood characteristics, and aging, physical and psychological changes and care needs. Research methods in that we will talk about types of variables and their selection. Unit 8 is on family studies, dynamics of marriage and family relationships, family welfare, domestic violence, marital disharmony, conflict, resolution of conflict, parent education, foster parenting, community education, family disorganization, single parent families, family studies, human rights, rights of children, rights of women, status of women, gender roles, guidance and counseling, health and well-being across lifespan development, and research methods. You will talk about data collection and classification, coding, tabulation, inferential and descriptive statistics. Yeah. So next, number 9 is communication for development, basics of communication, communication systems and communication theories, concept of development, concept will have theories, models, and different approaches, role of communication and development, concerns of development communication, advocacy and behavior change communication, traditional, modern, and new media for development, organizational agencies and institutes working for development communication. Research methods will have analysis of data through parametric and non-parametric tests. Final unit number 10, which is on extension management and community development, historical perspectives of extension, program management, extension methods and materials, curriculum development and planning for extension education and development activities, non-formal training, community development, people's participation and stakeholders' perspectives, development programs in India, and in research methods, we will talk about scientific report writing, presentation of data, interpretation, and discussion. So if you have noticed in unit number, in all the units in paper 2, you will have the last part as research methods. Okay, so one by one, they cover in all 10 units, little by little, they cover all the research methodology required for conducting research. Okay, because as an assistant professor, or if you are getting into PhD, you should have knowledge about research and statistics. So that is about the syllabus for both paper 1 and paper 2. So now let's move on to some practical tips for scoring in paper 1. Okay, so you have to go through the syllabus in detail, focus on the topics covered in the syllabus because it is general, right? So there are a lot of information which will deviate our mind when we want to study about one particular topic. Okay, so don't deviate, try to focus and prepare a timetable which suits your schedule. Okay, so give importance to all the topics of paper 1. Don't think of omitting anything because everything carries weightage. Okay, and there is no negative marking, but the more you score, the higher will be your ranking and your cutoff. To reach your particular cutoff, it will be very helpful. So allocate sufficient time for every topic, especially higher education system, governance policies and administration, people and environment, because some tricky and unpredicted or difficult questions are asked from these topics. So make sure you follow your timetable. Set a timetable which is easy for you to follow. Okay, don't set some timetable which you know for sure you will not follow, because that will be demotivating for you people when you start your preparation for the exam. Try to combine one difficult topic with one easy topic in one day so that you can make your day a little less tiring. So whenever you are feeling tired or you want to relax, you can move on to the less difficult topic. Whenever you have the mind to focus on a new and a vast subject, in that case you can choose a difficult topic. So practice as many mock tests and a mock test series as possible, because the more you practice with the MCQs, the more faster you will start answering, the more faster your mind will think if you set a particular limitation. Because you see that only this much hours will be given for you to complete the entire UGC net, right? So it is better you keep practicing, which will train your mind to think faster. The more you keep working out, the more your mind gets trained, and based on that, you will be attempting it faster, and you will be able to identify which are the poor points you have. Okay, based on that, those particular topics you can re-revise. So fine-tune your preparation accordingly so you can get more marks concentrating on the vital areas which needs more work from your end. Solve at least 6 to 7 previous year question papers, because most of the questions will be repetitive, especially when it comes to paper 1. Okay, apart from the general knowledge related questions, most of the others like reasoning and all of that will be very much repetitive. Okay, at least the patterns will be easily identifiable. So try to solve them. Allocate sufficient time for relaxation and breaks to keep your brain fresh and rejuvenated. So although this is a central government exam which you're preparing, it doesn't mean you're not supposed to have relaxations. It is always best to engage yourself in some outdoor activity rather than sitting at home watching TV or your mobiles. Okay, so basically try to get some fresh air, and it will help your brain to work fresh, and you can grasp things much more easier when you take good breaks. So there is no negative marking, so please attempt all the questions. Okay, so never omit questions. Whatever it is, even if you don't know, try to attempt some answer which you think might be relevant to that particular question which is asked. Mark that so that if in case you have that luck, you will get the answer right. Prepare a timetable first. Okay, so based on as you all know, the units are given, right? paper 1 and paper 2 is given. Ideally, I will advise you people to go in the respective order itself. Don't mix and match the order, but probably if you're going through the reasoning, logical reasoning, the mathematical stuff, you can do it simultaneously. Research also you can study simultaneously with other few topics. Okay, so a few of those preparations you can do. Okay, so try to set timetable for yourself based on whatever materials you have. Okay, uh, don't complicate the agenda. Okay, in case you find some topics very hard for you to learn, because as I told you, home science is a very broad category. Okay, people studying only clinical nutrition will also come there. People studying interior decoration or textiles alone also will come there. So in your respective majors, obviously you as a textile person would not have studied nutrition or child development or whatever it is. That is going to be difficult for you. So better concentrate on that first. Okay, simultaneously keep revising your textiles related questions as well. So based on that, you will be able to finish your preparation. Prioritize your subjects. As I told you, you will know which subject is easy for you. Based on that, keep them for easier part of the day. When you know you will have a lot of work, you'll just need some little time to revise. In that case, you can do those easy subjects. When it comes to new topics which you have not yet studied in your UG or PG, or you think you need more time concentrating on that, please make sure you set a very clear timetable and work according to that. Extra time for revision. Obviously, as and when you complete one unit, please get that revise whatever you have completed. Okay, when you finish the second unit, go to the first unit, sit and revise. If you feel you're not able to revise, it's a vast material, you're not able to go through it again and again, it's consuming time. You can do one thing. After you finish the unit 2, go back, do the MCQs for unit 1. Okay, so in that case, it's like you're revisiting, you're revising whatever you've learned in unit 1, and also you are getting the confidence that you still have those concepts clear. Okay, so as much as possible, try to focus more on doing a lot of the mock test series as well as the previous year question papers. Take short breaks. Okay, so please refrain from using online screens like laptops or phones for breaks. Please go outside, take some walk, eat something nice and fresh, and recharge yourself before you come back to study again. Understand your requirements. Okay, so you should first understand which are your PowerPoints. Okay, which topics you are master at. Based on that, you have to set your timetable, and based on that, you have to please set your relaxation time, your eating time, your sleeping relaxation, and all of those times you have to set. So please make sure you do all of these correctly. Do not waste time, especially now because you have 6 months to prepare for December session. Many of the students, what they do is they'll keep it to the last 2 months. Okay, so till August or September they don't do any preparation. This is not the right approach. Okay, so basically try to focus. You don't have to go much in detail, or you don't have to sit 24 hours with your book. But probably in a day, you might be students, you might be still going for any job or something. The 2 or 3 hours, whatever you're getting in a day, please make sure you utilize that to revise or to learn something for your exam. Okay, that was the tips which I wanted to give you people. So now, as you can see here, we are actually having the coaching materials as well as classes. Okay, so there are different packages as mentioned here. If you can actually see, the packages are mentioned, the pack number. So the coaching classes and materials. Okay, so basically it is all going to be PDF materials which is being sent online. Okay, this is for easy access. Okay, for you people. In case you want to take printouts, you can take printouts based on your requirements. Okay, so we have the materials for paper 1, paper 2, as well as we have the solved previous 15-year question papers. If you can see for both paper 1 and 2, we have unit-wise MCQs, mock test series for each unit in paper 1 and paper 2 also. Okay, we also have recorded classes for paper 1 and paper 2 syllabus, all the units. Okay, this is actually prepared without clarification. In case you have doubts for the specific units also, you can clarify with us. Okay, so this is the package. So if you can see till June 15th, this is a discounted package which you can see here. So this package actually includes the PDF materials for paper 1 and paper 2 for all units. It also includes your solved previous 15-year question papers with answers. and unit-wise mock test series for both paper 1 and paper 2. So that is a 6,000 package till June 15th. Okay. And when you move on to the next one, that is for the recorded classes. If you can see the PDF materials for paper 1 and paper 2, along with the solved previous question papers and the recordings for paper 1 and paper 2 together, it is 10,000. When it comes to instead of the previous 15 years, you want only the unit-wise mock test series along with the PDFs for paper 1 and paper 2 and recorded classes, it is 12,000. If you want the entire set, okay, the entire PDF materials for paper 1 and 2, previous solved 15-year question papers, as well as unit-wise MCQs and the recorded classes without clarification, all together it is 16,000. So this is only for the first 10 registrations, and the date is only till 15 June if you register. Apart from that, till 31st July, there is a set of amount which is mentioned here, and from 1st August onwards, this is a separate list of fees which is mentioned here. So please note the access which we are providing here is for lifetime. So many institutions, they offer access only to 6 months. That is still the nearest exam you complete. Okay. So in case now the nearest exam is going to be December 2026. So once December 2026 exams are completed, they will revoke your access. But we are not doing that. We are giving you lifetime access so that once you purchase these materials, it's going to be with you for lifetime till you clear and otherwise as well. Okay. So any doubts or clarifications we can take up now related to the session. Good afternoon. I just now want to welcome. I have completed my master's in home science. Okay. And then Jana regular diploma course. Mm-hmm. And I just got exams. Okay. Regular course, regular classes, just like I was based on and after 1 month and work the semester. It will my diploma also. Okay. UGC met. So my question is, am I allowed to appear in public health? I don't see any domain of public health. I was studying it on this also actively formed. So there is no public health. Since I kind of was social and community health, obviously I applied for yes. So switch into public health. See, yeah, this is a good question. So basically, as I told you, home science is an umbrella term. Okay, so you do public health, you do clinical nutrition, you do textiles, you do interior decoration, or even you do child development or whatever it is. Everything falls under home science. So you don't have anything specific for public health. But yes, for PhD, when you choose your topic in your college or university, you can focus on public health specifically, and you can have a topic on that. But when you go for UGC net, you have to do it under home science. There are a few works going on in the background. Okay, people are actually asking the government to split home science into various other major subjects because not all of us will be happy to learn something apart from our major, right? So that's one drawback which is existing when it comes to home science. And people are actually giving in their voices. We can expect some positivity probably in a few cycles later. But at present, the best thing is you can only opt for home science in UGC. Okay, but I have seen that many universities doesn't have PhD in science but doesn't have nutrition department. But they do have public health department and social work department, like department of social work. So, for example, JNU, I don't see JNU has a PhD in nutrition. So, can I qualify UGC net in science and a PhD in JNU in public health domains? Yes, you can definitely. Yes, definitely you will not. And one more thing is when it comes to universities and colleges, it is better to ask them first once. Okay, clarify if this particular because you have no other option than to apply only for home science. Okay, and that is understandable by any college in India because everyone knows that all of us will fall under home science only. We don't have a specific domain called public health. So we surely can't do anything apart from that. So it is best to once clarify before you apply for a PhD in a particular college or university if your qualification is eligible for the domain you want to do a PhD. Okay, but then 100% what I'm telling is you will be eligible, you will be given a seat, you can do a PhD in that. Yeah, well, good afternoon. Okay, yeah. What doubt you have now? Yes. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's a good question. Actually, JRF is only for full-time PhD scholars. Okay, so in case you're working as a professor part-time already, and then you have cleared JRF, you will be asked to leave that job and continue as a full-time PhD if you need a stipend from the government. If you don't want the JRF benefit, you can continue as a part-time PhD. You will not get a stipend. So the choice is yours. Whichever you choose, you can do. But JRF stipend will be given only for full-time PhD candidates, not for part-time. Yeah. Anything else? Any other queries? Good afternoon. Okay. Yes. Okay. Right. So basically, it will be provided only till you do your PhD. Once you submit your thesis, okay, the university will be giving, they will be getting a notification as well as you have to submit a report to the university telling that you completed your PhD. The day you submit your thesis, you will stop getting a stipend. So mostly people who qualify for JRF, as far as I have seen, they have completed within 3 or 4 years also. But to be on a wiser side, they don't want to waste that stipend. Okay, so they drag it for 5 years and then they complete. Yeah. Okay, so there is a question on the chat box. What's the difference between UGC net and PhD eligibility and only PhD eligibility? Right. So basically, there are three cutoffs. Okay, so if you qualify only PhD eligibility, which means you have not yet qualified for UGC net. Okay, which means you're still not eligible as an assistant professor. You cannot add UGC net to your suffix near your degrees towards your name. Okay, so if you have qualified both UGC net and PhD, in that case, you can also apply for PhD in a college as well as you can have that suffix of UGC net. Usually, you will not have PhD suffix in your name next to your degrees. Am I clear with that? PhD eligibility is only that you can only apply for PhD in any colleges or university. You can never use the UGC net unless and until you clear UGC net and PhD. So after completing JRF, PhD, is becoming a professor the only career option available, or can I pursue other jobs as well? Sure. See, actually, if you go into research side, there are a lot of research associates. Okay, research R&D in many of the companies. Okay, you can go into all of that. Okay, you can become a research supervisor. You can also be a research advisor. You can have your own consultancy. It's not definitely you have to go into academics and become a professor. Okay, so it depends on whichever side your interest is in. But if you have done a JRF and have completed PhD, you are automatically qualified for being an assistant professor. You can decide which paths you want to choose. There are multiple opportunities anywhere. Even if you go into ICMR, you go in for the central government also, they will have a lot of research related vacancies. Any of those you can apply. Anything else? Okay, cross major in the sense, Harini, are you able to unmute yourself? If you can unmute, you can probably clarify it on call itself with me directly. Cross major in the sense, can you give me some example of what exactly are you asking for? Okay, so is it for you? If it's for you, you can tell me the major itself directly so I can clarify it. Okay, so you did an MSc in food and nutrition. Obviously, you're eligible to do your UGC net home science. Okay, because whichever PG degree you have completed, based on that only you can choose. So yeah, you are eligible to do it food and nutrition. You are not eligible for zoology if you have a UGC net in zoology. You're not eligible because you have done only a UG in that, not a PG. So whichever is your PG major, only that you can do. Yeah. Good afternoon. Okay. Yes. So you're doing it in one time, but then the PhD eligibility criteria, that cutoff is actually valid only for 3 years. Okay. So in case you want to do a PhD after those 3 years, you will have to reappear and qualify. Otherwise, in case any university has some private exams, the university whichever you're planning to join, you can write the private PhD entrance exam and you can join. Yeah. Anything else? Yeah. Mm. Yeah. JRF also has the same criteria. Within 3 years, you have to join. JRF, PhD both have same criteria. Once you clear the exam, within 3 years, you have to join, enroll in the college or university for PhD. Otherwise, it's not of any use. If it's going to be done later on, you have to reappear, and only if you qualify again, you will be given that stipend. Yeah. Any other doubts or clarification? So in case your friends in your colleges or your colleagues who are working with you, they are also interested in knowing about this particular exam, or they are interested in going up with the materials or whatever it is, you can, we will be uploading this particular video in our YouTube channel. Okay, it's going to be live for everyone. Okay, so once they can see that, they can probably even join the WhatsApp group, whichever group you are in. Probably you can share the WhatsApp link to them and they can join in. So whatever updates are coming in, we can post the updates there. Okay, so you can probably help your friends to know about this particular exam also if they wanted to know, or if they have not joined in today for the live session, probably they can go to the recordings and they can access it. In case you have queries or they have queries also, they can still connect with us. We will be happy to solve them and help people. Okay, so if there are no further queries, we can end the session. Thank you so much for joining in, and I really hope you would have gained some knowledge about this exam. And make sure you choose wisely what type of coaching or materials you want to do, use and buy, and based on that, utilize those resources to the maximum. Because for sure, with a lot of practice and hard work which you put in, you will surely be able to qualify this exam. Okay, so all the best for all of you who are aspiring to qualify this UGC net and JRF, and to get into the academic as well as the research field. All the best to you people. If there are any queries, you can still keep connected in the WhatsApp group, or you can also DM us. You can get more information. We will circulate this coaching class and materials package list in the group again. Okay, thank you all for joining today.